The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. While Jesus was in one of the cities, there came a man full of leprosy, and when he saw Jesus, he fell on his face and begged him, "Lord, if you will, you can make me clean." And he stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, "I will, be clean." And immediately the leprosy left him, and he charged him to tell no one, but go and show yourself to the priest, and make an offering for your cleansing as Moses commanded, for a proof to the people. But so much the more the report went abroad concerning him, and great multitudes gathered to hear and to be healed of their infirmities. But he withdrew to the wilderness and prayed. The Gospel of the Lord. The leper was a tragic figure in ancient times, and leprosy was not only a death sentence, it was also seen as a curse. The book of Leviticus says, "The leper must wear torn clothes, leave his hair uncombed, cover the lower part of his face. He must live outside the camp, away from others." Ancient people did not go near the leper for fear of catching his disease. And perhaps looking at all of this, we can, in our own situation today, draw parallels with the leper. He must cover the lower part of his face. Do we not all now wear masks? He must live outside the camp. Do we not all now practice social distancing, being apart from one another, being in isolation? Ancient people feared catching his disease. Do we not fear catching COVID from our neighbors, friends, family? Every single one of us today can identify in some way with the leper, and can in some small way appreciate how terrible and how lonely it must have been living your whole life out like that. But, brothers and sisters, it is to such that Jesus reaches out his hand. It is to such that Jesus offers healing. In the midst of difficult and trying times for us all, how compassionate are we towards the sick and afflicted in our midst? One way we can show compassion is through prayer. To earnestly pray for the sick and the isolated, to keep them in our daily thoughts and prayers. Another way we can show our compassion is through support, where we can, if we can, by whatever means we have, to support those whose livelihoods have been destroyed by the pandemic. A final way we can show some compassion is to obey the health department guidelines which have been given to us all, not because the government tells us to, but because of our care and concern for both the sick and the healthy. Let our prayer today, in the light of this gospel, be, Lord, As you showed care for the leper, help us too to show more care and compassion for all others in these very difficult times. Amen.